First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Jennifer Robbins.
Good Monday evening, everyone. Hope you're having a beautiful start to the week. I know a busy one as we track a strong Kona low. This is what you need to know before going to bed tonight with the forecast and before out the door tomorrow. Here's the culprit, that large Kona low that's drawing up some deep tropical moisture. We will be seeing it in the neighborhood for quite some time, so multiple first alert weather days coming our way starting tomorrow. This is a good time to check on neighbors and loved ones. Also to go around your property, to clean debris, clean drains, and also tie down items. If you're over some of those windward neighborhoods, the strongest of the winds will be there. Strong downsloping winds could be damaging. We'll see that later in the week, so it's important maybe to take those outdoor furniture items inside or put them away in the garage. You see, windy conditions will accompany all of this with strong Kona winds, but the big story will be the flood watch and what we're seeing, intense thunderstorms coming into the picture the next several days. We haven't seen this caliber of a Kona low for quite some time, and that's why we're seeing several days of impacts. The first round coming our way late Tuesday into Wednesday, but as early as tomorrow morning, we could actually see some of these impacts over on Kauai. And then as the day progresses, a little bit more isolated. And then by midnight into Wednesday, that's when things really pick up on the radar. We're going to have the first wave stretch all the way to Maui County, not so much for Hawaii Island. The second wave, on the other hand, is going to be the stronger of the two. This one is going to bring a round of strong thunderstorms, starting as late as probably Thursday night and probably into Friday. We will be seeing that last into Saturday morning for the western end of the state. Then the focus is going to be shifting towards the east. By the end of the day, that's going to focus over Maui County and Hawaii Island. And this is going to be a statewide event with this second round we're talking about, the most intense rain. But what's really troubling with all of this is the first round is going to pave the way for the second round, and that could bring more down trees by the second half of the week after already saturated grounds. There it is, the strong Kona low. You see it spinning counterclockwise. You see all that moisture associated with it. Multiple days of rain coming our way as the ingredients stack up for even thunderstorms in the forecast. That's why we have a flood watch. We're starting to see that on Kauai Tuesday morning, lasting through Saturday. And then you see over the gathering place Tuesday afternoon into Saturday afternoon. Added into the mix for this flood watch will be Maui County. Wednesday morning into Saturday, we'll have multiple days of rain. It looks like a little bit of a lull on Thursday, and then that next round comes around Friday, which will include Hawaii Island into Saturday morning. So the ingredients are all driven by the mechanisms of this Kona low. It's detached from the jet stream, so it's going to meander offshore for several days at a time. This is acting like a pulley, pulling up that deep tropical moisture, also associated with very cold air aloft. And with all of that coming together, we could have severe thunderstorms in the forecast, something we don't see very often, hail in the forecast, as some of these individual cells will be popping up across the state. On top of that, strong Kona winds over windward slopes. We'll be seeing the mountains play a big role in producing strong winds the next several days. The strongest of the wind gusts will likely arrive Friday into Saturday. We'll have sporadic gusts between now and then, though, and you could actually see the windward side of the mountain seeing the strongest of the winds. As it descends, it races down the slopes, gusts up to 40, even 50 miles per hour. And we've seen this just several weeks ago, so that's a big concern for us. Let's break it down island by island for you. So Tuesday into Wednesday, the first wave, thunderstorms, intense rain is going to be hanging out over the western end of the state. Kauai will likely get the brunt of this first wave. And then late Thursday into early Friday, the second wave comes our way. We're talking about a heavier band of rain, more intense, and even stronger winds associated with that. Potential for severe thunderstorms, hail, and strong winds. As far as the gathering place, we're expecting that to come our way on Wednesday. That's the big day of when this is going to peak. We will be seeing the first round of heavy rain stacked up against the mountains. At times, we could have hours upon hours of rain sit over the mountains, and that's what makes the situation very unique, is one spot could hit with a lot of rain in a short amount of time. You can see Friday into early Saturday, that's when the next wave, and that's more intense like we're talking about, and that could bring on some damaging winds. As far as Maui County, it's going to take its time to get there. Wednesday afternoon into Thursday, the first wave is more sporadic in nature. Hit or miss showers a possibility. And then Friday into Saturday, that's when the most intense rain will come your way over Maui County. Strong thunderstorms. Kihei, keep an eye on flooding. This is a prone area that we see flooding during Kona events. So we'll be watching this very carefully, of course. Hawaii Island, on the other hand, you're probably not going to see too much action until the end of the week, but that doesn't mean by the time we get into the next couple of days, you'll have some sporadic downpours. We'll be watching that on the radar for Wednesday, so not as intense, a little bit more isolated, and that's with the placement of that Kona low in relation to where you are. Late Friday into early Sunday, stronger secondary wave of energy comes through. This is the most intense rain Hawaii Island will see during this time period as a line of thunderstorms marches over. On top of that, a wintry mix on the summit, low visibility, and plenty of snow. So let's take a closer look at the weather models. You can actually see Tuesday at 7:30, hangs on over the far western end of the state, and then it starts making its way over towards Kauai, all the way to even the North Shore, the Waianae Range, and the Ko'olau Mountains by the time we get into Wednesday at 9 o'clock. So Wednesday morning commute could be a wet one for us. For the western end of the state, you see the pockets of clearing just a little bit more isolated ahead of it. And then for Wednesday afternoon, hit or miss showers, intense at times, some thunderstorms rumbling over the state. You could actually see to some varying degree, all the islands could have some heavy downpours, but the most intense rain during this first wave will be over the western islands. And then Thursday, hit or miss showers. We'll have sporadic downpours. They'll be coming and going throughout the day. A little bit of a break of widespread rain and more sporadic in nature, but it highly depends on if thunderstorms continue to develop. Here's the second wave, the most intense of the two. You can see Friday at 5:30, a lot of that moisture sits over Kauai. We'll start seeing it push over towards the east by the time we get into Friday at 1 o'clock, including parts of Maui County. Some hit or miss showers over Hawaii Island Friday afternoon. And then that line of moisture comes through midnight, about 12:30 on Saturday. And that's going to be stacked up against at least the far eastern end of the state with that steady shower activity lasting through Saturday. We'll start seeing less intense rain behind it, but still some sporadic downpours. This gets pretty complex. I don't want you to pay attention to the rainfall totals overall because it really highly depends on where those thunderstorms develop. But you see weather models are showing quite a bit of rain, substantial rain, anywhere from about 4 inches to 12 to 14 inches of rain. And it highly depends on the nature of the system with the thunderstorms and how long it sits over the mountains and gets caught up. Surf is not too big tomorrow, but it's going to be stormy in days ahead. East-facing shores at 5 to 7, 2 to 4 on north-facing shores. A lot of moving parts to the 7-day forecast. Let's walk through it. So we're talking about 2 waves of energy. The first round for Tuesday into Wednesday. I think Wednesday is going to be the most intense day, at least for this first round. Very active from Kauai to Maui. Thunderstorms a possibility, intense at times. Sporadic showers continue Thursday. The instability is still there. We still have southwest winds, so that's why that first alert weather day continues. And then into Friday, here's the second round, the most powerful of the rounds coming our way with southwest winds. That's going to pick up into Friday and Saturday, hearing those whistling winds coming over, especially over some of those windward neighborhoods. And then we'll see how far it stretches into Saturday night into Sunday. But a lot of moving parts. Please check on your friends and family. Please go over a plan. And remember to turn around, don't drown, especially with rushing waters. Wishing you a beautiful evening and rest of the week. Please be safe out there and keep it tuned here, your First Alert team.